this closely, are usually people that are very close to you who love you and care about you. You need to really hear what I'm saying. As a parent, it's very difficult now that I'm a parent and as my kids get older to not reach in and meddle in every aspect of their life because I don't want them to get hurt. Any of you that are parents can understand what I'm saying. But there comes a time when you've got to realize that it's their life and they're making their choices, and their choices may not line up with your choices. So if my daughter comes along and says she wants to go ahead and get some career path that I feel is ludicrous, I have option A of telling her that's stupid, it's realistic, it won't work, blah, blah, blah. Or I could encourage her to be the best she could possibly be in that career. Now, I know that it's real easy to say you would take the second choice, but trust me, when that day of reckoning comes for you, many of you, without even consciously thinking about it, are going to tell them what you think they should do. And you're not going to do it in a mean or spiteful way. You're going to do it because you love them and you care about them. So there's two things I want to share with you. Number one, don't be a dream stealer. Don't be a dream stealer. Someone doesn't want to do multi-level, that's fine. Someone wants to do a different program instead of World Ventures, that's fine. How many of you realize there's already 300 million other people other than the person we're talking about in the States? And outside the United States, there's a few people as well. So if one person wants to hook up with Herbalife, God bless them. Let them go to Herbalife or NSA or where they want. I think it's a horrible scales of balance karma thing for you to put doubt in somebody else's head about anything that they're passionate about pursuing. I really believe that. The old golden rule, do unto other people as you'd have them do unto you. Now, the other part of the equation is obviously you can't let other people steal your dream. And it's really challenging when there are people who love you a lot. My mom and dad, after I'd been doing network marketing for about 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years, I lived in Philadelphia. They were in northern New Jersey, which is about an hour-and-a-half ride. So once every 2 to 3 weeks, we'd get together in a diner. We'd meet halfway between, and we'd have a bite to eat. We'd spend a couple hours. I'm a pretty tight Italian family, so it was important for me to stay in close contact. I wanted to. It was a great, enjoyable time. And they were always, from the time I was born, my biggest fan, my biggest fan. No matter what I was doing, my dad is, are you happy? Then do it. Are you happy? Then do it. Are you enjoying yourself? Then do it. So the first year, I made over $100,000 in network marketing, and I was sky high. And I had just leased myself a new Mercedes, and I was wearing a $1,000 suit, man. I was living the life. And my parents sat me down and they said, you know what, Mark? You're not going to want to hear this, but we're going to have to say it. You've been doing this thing for a while. We know you tell us you're making all kind of money, but the bottom line is you're broke. You have no money in the bank. A couple of your credit card companies called and said you're still late on payments. And that guy who's teaching you is making millions. He's using you, he's screwing you, you need to get a good job and get away from him. Now let me tell you something. I was stunned. I don't know if you've ever been in shock before, but I was definitely in a state of literal shock. Because here's the two people I have more than anyone in the world at this point, and they're slaughtering my dream right in front of me. If you have faith size of mustard, you can move a mountain. If you have that much doubt, you're screwed. They just dumped a bucket of doubt into my brain. So I just looked at them and I said, you know what? You always told me that as long as I was happy, it was great. Now I'm happier than I've ever been, and I made more money this year than you made in any 4 years of your life combined, and you're ripping me apart. That's awesome. That's great. Thanks for the parental love. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to drive around for about 20 minutes and cool down. When I come back in, if you mention it again, or for that matter, if you ever mention that line of reasoning ever again, I'm going to get up, I'm going to drive away, and I will not get back in touch with you until I'm so successful you can't infect me. I love you more than anything in the whole world, but what you just did to me is wrong. And I got up, I walked out. I got up, I walked out, I went to my car, and I just broke down hard. Because a lot of what I was doing was just to make them proud of me. And that's what you got to get. Sometimes the people you're trying to make proud are going to be the ones killing you. My friend Lori did the same thing, man. She was just doing this deal for her mom and dad. And she struggled worse than I did. And her mom and dad closed one of her bank accounts out from underneath her. I mean, they did so many horrible things. And when she finally made money, she bought them a new house. She bought them boats. She was only doing the business to make them proud of her. So I'm telling you, you may never have to deal with this, or you may have to deal with it in a real big way. But dream stealers are a real part of life. And let me just tell you this. Dreams are not supposed to be realistic. That's why they're a dream. Walt Disney had a grade school teacher who ridiculed him in class one day and told him flowers don't have faces. I just got back from taking my family to Disney World for about the 4th or 5th time. And as a matter of fact, we're taking our little brother from Big Brother, Big Sister and sending him and his little brother and his mom there in about 2 weeks. And I have got to tell you, what Walt Disney does to put obviously now that he's been long gone, but what his dreams did to put smiles on the faces of children is unbelievable. More so than any person who will probably ever walk the face of the earth. Where would we all be, and where would all the generations of children be if he let that teacher ridicule him into giving up his dreams? You just don't do it. And you know what? It's going to be tough. And it's going to be most tough because the people who love you the most are going to be the ones who are going to be stabbing you. And the thing is, they don't even know what they're doing. So you're going to have to really digest this information. And if it doesn't apply to you, then let it be water off a duck's back. But I'm telling you something, you can't win the 100-meter race if every time you take a step, someone tries to tackle you. You need to be able to run free in order to make this deal work, and you need to be able to follow your dreams. So, I will do